It's Tuesday, May 14. In the headlines, Met Service clarifies social media reports about higher than normal temperatures and $50 million earmarked for Labor Day activities. In business news, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange speaks on the significance of financial literacy. Regionally, partnership between Dubai Company, part of a private inter-Caribbean ferry service. And in sports, Windies women's cricketer Hayley Matthews named ICC Player of the Month for April. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Labor Day will be observed on Thursday, May 23, under the theme, Ramp Up the Access, Show That You Care. Local Government and Community Development Minister Desmond McKenzie says $50 million is to be shared among municipal corporations across the island to support the day's activities.
And we are doing that because it is important that the persons who are physically challenged should not feel intimidated by the lack of access to facilities.
Minister McKenzie was speaking at the monthly meeting of the Portland Municipal Corporation in Port Antonio recently. He urged members of the corporation's Building and Planning Committee to ensure that the Labor Day projects will also cater to persons who are physically challenged.
Whatever road work that the municipality is going to be undertaking, we must ensure that our sidewalks are constructed in a way that it provides access. And it is not just the intention of the ministry to use Labor Day as the only day. We'll be working on a program that will allow the municipalities to do a lot more work in ensuring that persons with physical challenges have easier access to the public thoroughfare.
Meanwhile, Mayor of Port Antonio, Paul Thompson, says the parish project will see the construction of a ramp at a primary school.
So that this can benefit children who are disabled and uses a wheelchair. This will also ensure that no one is left behind.
The Meteorological Service of Jamaica says it is aware of posts being circulated in the media indicating that temperatures across Jamaica will increase 5 degrees above normal in the next 5 days. In a statement to the media, the Met Service explains that although the graphic outlook accompanying the post seems to be from a trusted source, the interpretation has been somewhat misleading. Higher than normal temperatures, averaging between 1 to 3 degrees, have in fact been experienced across the island in recent weeks. It says this is consistent with reports of elevated global temperatures since the start of the year, as well as the projections that were presented by the Meteorological Service for the May to July period. Based on data that is currently available, temperatures are projected to continue to reach 1 to 2 degrees Celsius higher than would normally be experienced at this time of the year. High humidity produced by cloudy conditions or rainfall could, however, cause these temperatures to feel even warmer. Residents are reminded to maintain adequate hydration and stay cool during the hot days. The Meteorological Service will continue to monitor the situation. Prominent children's rights advocate Betty Ann Blaine, who died on Monday, is being hailed by those who knew and respected her as an inspirational leader and a role model who has left a legacy of championing the rights of Jamaican children. Ms. Blaine died in Atlanta after hailing for some time. She was 75 years old. Her daughter, Dr. Tarika Barrett, said she understood her mother's role as being critical as a voice for the voiceless. In a joint statement issued on Monday afternoon by Blaine's family, Hear the Children's Cry, an advocacy agency for children which she founded in 2002, and a former colleague at City and Guild Representatives' Jamaican office, praised Blaine as Jamaica's leading advocate and activist for the welfare of children and their families and for the eradication of poverty. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, in a post on the social media platform X, says Betty Ann's passion and commitment have touched countless lives, and her legacy will continue to inspire us to create a better Jamaica for all. End quote. Opposition leader Mark Golding also paid tribute to Blaine, saying that her, quote, unwavering dedication to the welfare of our children is a testament to her boundless compassion and energy. Her legacy will continue to inspire us to create a better Jamaica for all. End quote. Chief Executive Officer of Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, Lorette Adams Thomas, says she is, quote, deeply saddened, end quote, at Ms. Blaine's passing. Jamaica has failed to mobilize effective policy decisions that will tackle violent behaviors being exhibited by children. That's the view of the president of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, Linvern Wright. His remark coincides with a surge in school violence and its repercussions on teachers and students alike. More in this report from Danita Rodney.
In a Sunday Gleaner article, numerous teachers shared harrowing accounts they termed as horror stories involving their students. These educators portrayed the students as a blend of narcissists and terrorists, prompting many to opt for early retirement. Mr. Wright says these dangers presented are not being met with the aggression needed to counter these violent behaviors.
The mobilization, for example, that we have in Jamaica when it comes down to election time is second to none for any system in Jamaica. No public relations system works like that. So I don't think that we don't have the capacity and we don't have the will. The fact is that we don't think that the problem is serious enough or grave enough for us to organize. Our private sector funds elections because power and being able to influence what is happening in government is important to them.
He also referenced recent remarks suggesting that explicit music fuels violence.
So we have a minister, for example, who was in Parliament, and you hear about music being the issue. I'm not saying music is not a part of the issue, but those things are cop-outs. What I want to hear from my Minister of Education are serious solutions that mean that it's going to be long-term.
The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service kicked off its 2024 National Budget Secondary School Tour at St. Catherine High School. The move will see a series of 13 workshops scheduled to get underway across the schools in St. Catherine, as well as Kingston. And it's geared at sensitizing students about the 2024-2025 central government budget and the role and functions of the MOFPS.
Will be sensitizing you about the national budget, as well as the role of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. And we have an informative, fun-filled morning planned just for you.
This year, the non-debt expenditure of the budget is $850 billion. How much of that gets spent on education? 20% approximately, let's say 19%, approximately $160 billion. So you can see what a big chunk of it education gets.
We still have to find innovative and creative ways of getting Jamaicans involved in the budgetary administration. as we believe that understanding the budgetary process is a way of sensitizing the public at large as to how the overall budget works and what goes into the budgetary process.
Is to educate and empower our students to become informed and responsible citizens.
Everything we heard during this morning will instill key skills and insights that will help us academically, but also guide you to be better leaders and contributors to Jamaican society.
Of the word budget, can you tell me what comes to mind? Somebody says money. I don't know, you're all great because I expect to hear responses. I expect to come back and responses. So somebody says money, somebody says savings, what else? What other words come to mind when you hear about budgeting?
Income.
Limit? Why would limit come to mind when you think of budgeting?
Because when you're budgeting, you kind of limit the amount of money you're going to spend, so it's kind of like a plan.
But as limits relates to it now, you don't want to overset that money budgeted as I said, it's an estimated amount. The actual figures compared to estimated amounts, you don't want to overset that.
When the budget is tabled and approved, the ministries will spend the money. There is an oversight process. So after the funds are spent, the Auditor General audits the accounts of the ministry, departments, and state involved.
You might have suspected that we're going to be doing a quiz challenge because if Jago comes to St. Catherine, we have to test them, right? To let our people introduce themselves in the meantime.
Hi, I'm Jamar Perkins and I'm representing the 24 School Challenge Quiz Champion!
Good morning everyone, I'm Janelle Bell from Pearl Harbor and I'm representing the Mighty Conquerors.
So our winner of the National Project Secondary School Tour is St. Jago!
The National Project is everybody's business.
Most major illnesses that affect Jamaicans are caused by unhealthy lifestyles. Good health begins with better choices. We hear more about these illnesses and how to prevent them in this message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Most major illnesses that affect Jamaicans are caused by unhealthy lifestyles. Over 50% of Jamaicans are overweight. 1 in 3 Jamaicans has high blood pressure. 1 in 8 Jamaicans has diabetes. 17% of Jamaicans have high cholesterol. A healthy lifestyle can reduce the risk of most of these diseases. Things like regular exercise and adequate rest can play an important role in maintaining good health. The other major consideration is eating healthy. The question is, how do you walk into a restaurant or fast food outlet and identify the healthier menu items? Better For You is an initiative to help Jamaicans to eat healthier. The restaurants and fast food outlets can voluntarily participate by identifying the items on their menu that meet the food-based dietary guidelines for Jamaica. These menu items would be easily identified with the Better For You logo, so customers can quickly identify healthier meal options by looking at the menu or menu board. Once they see the Better For You logo, they can confidently order that menu item, knowing that it's a healthier choice. Better For You will help Jamaicans to make better choices and prompt restaurants to add better options to their menu. Better For You is better for everyone. Good health begins with better choices.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, has highlighted the critical role of financial literacy in facilitating economic empowerment. Dr. Street Forrest made the comments while delivering the keynote address at the inaugural Silby Hamill Memorial Business Education Lecture at the University of Technology on Thursday, May 9, 2024. Dr. Street Forrest noted that about 280,000 Jamaicans, or 16% of the adult population, investing in the stock market. The country is already seeing the benefit of efforts to improve financial literacy attributable to education outreach programs put on by the stock exchange. These have helped more Jamaicans to make informed financial decisions that have helped them to empower them economically, Dr. Street Forrest said. Remittance inflows into Jamaica amounted to US $500 million for the first 2 months of the year, reported by RJR News. In the monthly remittance bulletin for February, the Bank of Jamaica said the country's growth of 0.1% is in contrast to growth of 3.8%, 8.2%, and 1.5% recorded by Mexico, Guatemala, and El Salvador, respectively. Remittance inflows totaled US $246 million and $253.6 million in January and February, respectively. January dipped 1.1% compared with year earlier levels, while flows in February improved by 1.3%. There has been several changes in the ranks of corporate Jamaica. Image Plus Consultants Limited has advised that Mrs. Ramona Brown has relinquished her managerial oversight duties as the Ocho Rios branch manager effective April 30, 2024. Image Plus has also advised of the appointment of Dr. Wendy Gay Thomas to the post of Chief Operating Officer effective June 3, 2024. Massey Holdings Limited has advised that Mr. Alberto Rosso has resigned as Senior Vice President, Strategy and Business Development, Gas Portfolio, and effective June 30, 2024. During trading for the period of May 13, 2024, the following companies valued at 500 million Jamaican dollars or more in assets represent the overall volume leaders in terms of equity sales on the main market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 172,147,441 units, amounting to 97.36% of the main market volume in terms of sales. Alternative energy provider Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with 1,868,364 units, amounting to 1.06% of the main market volume in terms of sales. Cigarette distributor Carreras Limited with 686,809 units, amounted to 0.039% of the market volume of the main market in terms of sales. During trading for the period of May 13, 2024, on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, the following companies represent the overall volume leaders in terms of sales of equities on the junior stock market, with companies valued at 50 million or more Jamaican dollars in asset value. Electrical manufacturing company Phosrich Company Limited, with 111,133,231 units, amounted to 93.56% of the junior market volume in terms of sales. Online teaching platform One-on-One Educational Services Limited, with 3,519,161 units, amounting to 2.96% of the junior market volume in terms of sales. Herbal Foods Distributor and Manufacturer Jamaican Teas Limited, with 1,755,759 units, amounted to 1.48% of the junior market volume in terms of sales. Over on the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, trading on May 13, 2024, registered a volume of 595,733 shares, crossing the floor of the exchange valued at $3,794,273 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 68 cents. Massey Holdings Limited was the volume leader with 448,056 shares changing hands for a value of $1,881,608 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 95 cents, followed by JMMB Group Limited with a volume of 70,106 shares being traded for 94,643 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 10 cents. From the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On May 13, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $54.2 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $54.3 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $157.03 and bought the US dollar for $155.63. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.40, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $1.07 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $115.23 and bought for $114.16. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $1.93, selling it for $195.90 and buying it for $189.79. For our credit report tip of the day, if you are 18 and just landing your first job, that is fantastic. But we want you to establish credit so that you can build over the years. So consider applying for a starter credit card or becoming an authorized user on a parent's card if they allow. Responsible use of the card can help build your credit history. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed. Stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, Connect Carib, a private sector-led ferry service in the Caribbean, has brokered a new partnership with the Dubai-headquartered Jampor Group, enabling the venture to expand its fleet that will be available to move cargo and people across the region. Pleona Group Chairman Dr. Andre Thomas announced the partnership with the Jampor Group on Monday during a press conference hosted in Barbados and online. According to him, this partnership will allow the group to advance the Connect Carib venture much faster than initially planned, helping the region to achieve its food security goals sooner.
Our partnership with our new partner, which is the Jampor Group, they are a very strong company operating out of the UAE, and they work across the continent of Africa and worked for over 30 years and have a fleet of ships. And we've entered into an agreement with them, and they will be providing our first set of ships, which are being acquired as we speak, and very soon would be on their way to the Caribbean waters. So our launch date was due to be in the month of November. This definitely will accelerate it a few months earlier. And the approach that we're taking is going to be slightly different, marked by the consultations we've had with the CPSO and also with the Jampo Group. So we are going to begin with a lot more ships, but slightly smaller ships that would go to many more places. And we will begin with a very strong emphasis on the cargo element, with also travel, and then build towards having the two much larger cruise ships, which we're still actually working on, that would house over 1,000 people, approximately 800 to 1,000 people each, in the second phase of acquisition.
News out of Barbados. The Connect Carib ferry service should be up and running by September. Word of this came from Chairman Ambassador Dr. Andre Thomas. The chairman says the initiative is ahead of schedule and has provided details about the number of ships which will start the ferry service.
They will be providing our first set of ships, which are being acquired as we speak, and very soon would be on their way to the Caribbean waters. So the news that we have for you is that the decision making in terms of our business development, our routes, our understanding of how to integrate our cargo platform with our travel and our e-commerce platform, all that market information has been made available through our discussions with the CPSO. We're looking initially at 10 vessels, okay, to serve the region in this stage. Then stage 2, now so within stage 1, there could be some small stages, like we get 3 this month, 4 next month, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so there are variables in there, okay? It's not like you're going to the store and getting popcorn. Okay, these are huge vessels that once you get them, they have to go to the dock. They have to be perhaps actually fitted for what we want them to do. So it's not just you just go into the store and just get one.
In sports, in cricket, West Indies player Hayley Matthews' consistency has resulted in the top all-rounder being awarded with another ICC Women's Player of the Month accolade.
After spearheading the West Indies' success in Pakistan across both the ODI and T20 series, she was awarded her third ICC Women's Player of the Month after previously winning in November 2021 and October 2023. Her most recent success comes from an array of eye-catching all-round performances in April, resulting in 451 runs and 12 wickets across both shorter formats. Skipper Matthews set the tone early, blasting an unbeaten 140 in the first game and following up with 3 wickets for 17 runs. She replicated her heroics in the third fixture, scoring 141 while taking 2 wickets.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica.